Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Rhinestone Island, and today's episode is not going to be what I may have led you to believe it was going to be from last episode. Now, I know that I said I was going to work on the rally track, and I actually went as far as to go in. I installed a whole bunch of really awesome rally track just assets and props and things. Like I've got, let me get over here a little bit. We got these like little racing gates. We've got this rally tape stuff. We also have in our props over here, we got these cool rally cars like the Ford Fiesta, which looks actually really good. I downloaded a whole bunch of these like stock vanilla people that just like stand around, and we can put them, alongside the rally tape and make it look like there's like a big crowd gathering around the rally track. So I want to do that, but what I kind of realized whenever I was planning all of this out, deciding how I was going to do this, is that, and you might notice this even now from just zooming out, you can see that this particular mountain right here, and these that have all been worked already, they look a lot more detailed and finished than these mountains do, especially these big like kind of broad looking textures and not textures, even just shapes, I guess. That I made intentionally, right? It was supposed to be just like a placeholder mountain until we get to that point of the island, and we can, detail it and shape it better and redo all the foliage and all that stuff. So I was planning on coming back and doing this, but just realizing that this episode, if I did the rally track, would be entirely time-lapse again. And moving into like more, maybe like the next like 2 or 3 episodes would have been time-lapse because of just all the prop placement and the reworking of the mountains and stuff. And we just got done doing that for the airport over here, so I want to take a break from that kind of thing and start working more on the entire island's infrastructure a little bit more, and continue with the stuff we started out with the downtown over here. So I want to finally connect the highway over here to this highway, so we can finally have 2 entry points and not just one. Because right now all of our traffic comes in from this single highway and these trains and the planes. So I've been waiting to do this for a super long time, and I'm really excited to finally get to it. We'll, of course, come back and do the rally track at a different time. I have all the props, I have all the things we need, and when I get the time again, or just the inspiration to completely rework all these mountains over here, and start on the rally track, we'll get to that point. But I really just wanted to go ahead and start with the highways over here because I've been wanting to get going on these neighborhoods for a super long time now, and well, you can see because it was getting late in the day, so our budget was going down. But our budget has been right around 0, maybe a little above 0 at times, or a little below 0 at times, and our weekly income, I guess, on our budget. But that's been right around 0, and I know I mentioned this a few episodes ago, but I'm still on this sort of mission to make this entire city break even. I know it's really kind of like a silly thing to be worried about at this point. I mean, I know it's not really that big of a deal, and the whole idea of this island was never to be like this, we're never really concerned with the income. But in the back of my mind, I was always trying to make sure that the island was at least breaking even. So now that we have actually broken even on total expenses to profit, and I think if I turned this off right now, we'd be at about a couple million in the green, which is good, or I guess the black is the real term here. So we'd be good to go on that, but I want to get to a point where we're making money very comfortably, and the reason we're not right now is we have quite a few more utilities and services than we do people living in our city or demand for them. So that's why we really just need to get going on eventually, expanding our population and getting more people in the city. So that's what the plan is for today. I just want to start on these neighborhoods over here. I want to start mostly on just building up this highway, and that way we can finally have a more positive income that's more comfortably positive, because it does fluctuate quite a bit, pretty much entirely reliant on the fact that our commercial closes at night. So when it starts getting closer to the evening time, like right now, you can see it goes back into the negative again, and a lot of times it even dips down to like negative 20 or 30,000, and then during like midday it'll be as high as like, I don't know, like 20, 30,000 in the black. So I don't really know exactly the easiest fix for that, but I think that the thing we're going to have to do is just build more residential to offset it. So that's the plan. That's what we're doing right now, and we're gonna finally get going on this like rural, and maybe not even as much rural, because I know we have a giant city right here, and I feel like this island's real estate is pretty limited. So I would imagine that the majority of these areas are probably being totally filled as like nice suburbs and not as much rural. So we'll see how that actually pans out here, but I do want to make like a golf course and a few other cool little things that are going to be fitting into our sort of nicer suburbs and things in this area over here. But for now, I want to get this highway connected. Now, you see, I just built this part here, but I'm looking to bring this around in maybe like this sort of general shape. I don't mind it being kind of curvy. I think it looks kind of nice actually, curving and making cool shapes. So let's see if we can do that. I'm gonna bring this like all the way up to here and then cross. So now I don't want to build this big, well, actually, no, that doesn't look too bad. Let me, I'm gonna of course go back and rework this river and everything as well. In fact, I think I'm gonna probably redo the majority of this area. I like the idea of having a little lake up here, but I don't like the fact that all of this is at sea level, so there's no actual running water over here. There is a little bit over here, but nothing really over here. So, you know, we'll fix this stuff, and I'm sure we'll have to do some mountain reworking as well, but that's okay. So anyway, I'll come out maybe like this far, and then I think I'm gonna go out and then in. So I'll just build the right side first, and then we can go from there. But something like this, followed by something like this. And I'm kind of intentionally making this not perfect. In fact, I'm gonna overshoot it by a tiny bit like this, and then bring the curve back in again. But I just think it'll look nice to have these suburbs be a little bit more natural looking, a little bit less grid-like compared to our previous area. So that's the situation there. Let's try and get this just about accurate. That looks pretty good. I'll bring this back to here and then do the same thing on this side. Now this is going to be a lot more eyeballing, and again, like I just said, it's really not, I'm not super concerned about making everything perfect, because it is supposed to be outside of the city, no more grids or anything, so a little more freedom here to kind of play around with different stuff. Now that is not what we're looking for. Let's see. You know, I might even make the highways kind of split off from each other a little bit and then yeah, I think I might do that actually. So maybe have this one cut in a bit earlier, like this. That's a pretty hefty split, but I think it's going to be reasonable. But my idea was to not even have to have a... Well, let's see how this looks first. But I want to reconnect it again right about here at about this much of a split. So something like this. We'll go ahead and cross here. Come on. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. All right, we got it more of a split than that. Something like this maybe. I think that looks a bit better. Let's try that. Oh, I think the same thing. All right. We'll go with something even more so than that, I guess. Like this. All right, that's got to be good. All right, there we go. And then we'll just connect this again. Like... Try and get this to be as straight as we can get it. Just about there. That's a bit overshot, and there we go. Perfect. So if that's connected there, we'll bring this one in here like so. Let's see if I can get this kind of straight here. All right, perfect. So there's our highway. Pretty awesome. I kind of like this little divergence here, and we'll have maybe some green space or some foliage over here. Now I just noticed that we built these highways with these street lights, and I think, did I do that on this side too? You know, I can't actually remember anymore. I don't think that we did. Let's do this. Oh, you know what? We did. Okay. So I would assume that, you know, a small island like this would probably, since the highway stretch is so small and this isn't super rural, we probably have lit highways all the way through. So I'm just going to go with that because we're going to have neighborhoods surrounding all these highways. Usually I wouldn't want to have, you know, street lights all over highways, but I think it makes sense in this situation. So we can go with that. But look at this. We finally got some people using the highway in the opposite direction. We can get some people coming in and out over here. Now, I forgot, did I ever make, I don't think I ever made a second train connection. I think the only train connection is a one-way from here. So that looks right. So we'll have all the people coming in this way. But honestly, we really don't have a ton of traffic in the city to begin with. For 60,000 people, it's almost entirely planes and trains and public transit, really just hardly any cars. You can see even in like the middle of the city over here, there's really like no traffic. I think the heaviest street is right here, and it's only because like literally every single bus that runs this route comes through here and then goes in this direction. So yeah, it's pretty manageable, pretty nice, and I'm looking forward to doing the neighborhoods over here. So why don't we get started then on the first few neighborhoods. Now you know, I really like this already, and I really want to work on this area, and I know it kind of makes sense to start over here, but I think I might start just way over here so I can work on this part of the highway and then make a few exit points and stuff. So yeah, why don't we get started with that? All right, so I decided to start with this pretty simple little interchange here, and more just like a little off-ramp kind of thing here. Of course, we're going to be, you know, actually detailing this area and putting some rocks in and stuff later on, but I wanted something simple to start with. I also wanted to have this avenue be underneath the highway, so there's a little ramp here instead, intentionally because I didn't want to have this avenue be like on a bridge where we'd have to like bring it down and then quickly have it change directions because there's like a big mountain over here. So I decided to put underneath the highway, and then on top of that, I also am kind of envisioning this tip of the island to be probably the densest and most populated part of this whole section here. So because of that, I wanted to start with a nice solid avenue. It's going to come out in this direction, probably in like a zigzagging kind of pattern, go towards the end of the tip over here. And I also have a few different plans for this tip of the island. The first thing is, and I know a lot of you have been mentioning this because I don't have one yet, but we don't have a harbor, and I'm going to put a harbor somewhere on the shore of this little tip here. And I'd also like to go in and at some point put in a golf, like a golf club or like a clubhouse and a golf course, you know, something like that. So we'll eventually get to that, and that might actually go like over here somewhere or something, but in the meantime we'll have this, and this is definitely a low capacity interchange. It's just like two, you know, standard traffic lights. It's going to be not ideal for a lot of traffic, just for a pretty, you know, small amount of traffic. So that's the plan. But let's go ahead and bring this avenue out just a little bit here. I was kind of imagining bringing it out this way, maybe having it go straight for a little while here, like this, before curving and eventually being in the center, I think, like this. Actually, I think I'm going to bring it back towards the side over here, like that. So if we do that, let's bring this up one and then cut this back one like that. Actually, we can even cut it back one there as well. Okay, that's better. And then I'm using the bike path because I kind of just imagine that this particular avenue would be you know, servicing some nicer neighborhoods over here. And I like to think that most nice neighborhoods have, you know, these newer actual laid out bike. I mean, actually, I guess this isn't really like, maybe in other parts of the world it's more common, but here in the US anyway, it really seems like bike paths are kind of like neglected in a lot of ways. Like biking isn't a super huge way to get around for most places. Now there are like some exceptions to that, obviously. You know, certain towns that are known for their like high rate of biking commuters, but I always associate, just from where I live anyway, anytime I see, you know, avenues with nice bike lanes and stuff, I sort of think of it as being like a nicer area. So that's what's going on here. But now that we got this down, I'm sort of already envisioning that this avenue is going to be maybe like a block or two away from the beach and also the harbor. Now I think most of the beach real estate is going to be on this side, on the inside of this big cove over here. And then this outer area will probably be some like cliffs and things, and then of course the harbor over here. So we'll leave that for that, but we're definitely going to have what I would imagine to be like a small town, you know, some commercial and stuff over here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this out a tiny bit more and then just start immediately on that part. So let me just bring the strength up off of that, and we'll flatten this out just a tiny bit here. Also get rid of some of the sand. We'll bring this right to the end here, just temporarily. I guess we'll just bring it to here, and then we'll go from there. But so off the main avenue now, because this avenue is just like a small little 2-lane by 2-lane avenue, I'm not going to worry about like making, you know, separate exit roads. That I'm just going to put the commercial straight on this avenue. So before we even do that, I kind of want to use a couple of these parks that we have, you know, just to start the area off. So I think, oops, wrong way. I want to use that the gas stations, maybe the grill as well, Buffalo Grill or something, or a Hesburger perhaps. Let's start with the Shell gas station. So, you know, actually I think we should definitely have a gas station like immediately after this little interchange, because then people can, you know, stop, like a little rest stop kind of thing. So let's put one of these down over here on this corner, and we'll give this more attention later on, but I just want to keep in mind that that's what we're doing over here. So I'll leave that like that, and then I think what I want to do is make a corner. So I'm gonna go with the bike paths again for the secondary main roads. So I'd imagine this is one of those. So I'll do another bike path in this direction, and then from here we can put a nice little gas station in the corner. I'll use the different company for this one. So there's that. And actually, you know what? I would imagine they would build it with the sign facing the avenue, so you can actually see what gas station it is. So there we go. We got that, and then I think right off the bat, we probably have, well, we could do, oh, I had to get some water in here first, actually. Let's see. And I guess power will be a temporary issue. I'm going to actually bring the water from this side and then expand it as we go. So for this area, I'm going to actually bring this pipe right along this avenue, like so, and then just continue it out in this direction, I think, and we'll fill in the rest here once we get to the highway over here. So go down to there, and then maybe some right angles right off the highway there. Hopefully a good solution, just temporarily. So there we go. Hit play and get our power back, and then I guess now's the time. Well, let's do a couple of these ploffables still. So we got the gas station. I want to do probably like the Buffalo Grill or something, some restaurants and things. The Hesburger, maybe we'll go. Actually, you know, I kind of like the idea of having this one over also as like one of the pit stop restaurants. But I guess it's a chain, so we could put one over here as well. Let's put this one up. Put some parking on this side. So let's look at our parking lots real quick and make sure we don't block anything too much. I think I might just use this parking lot since it's sort of simple. Well, it is a little big, I think, for what we're going for. Maybe we do a little. Well, I don't want to make an intersection though. I'll just make it a custom parking lot then. So we'll go ahead with our Hesburger up here. I'll leave 3 spaces for our custom parking, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and fill this out with cement so we at least know what we were doing over here and why I left it empty like that. So we'll bring this to about there, just like a rough idea. We'll get back to this later and make it look cleaner, but for now it's good as is. So there's our Hesburger, and then we got power, right? Yeah, we got power now. So let's do a few more little restaurants and commercial buildings over here. And I'm gonna stick to all low density. I don't want to have any high density commercial over here. So we'll do this, speed it up a tad bit so everything gets built. And we're getting further out in this direction, so I can kick these back here in a minute. But see a few commercial shops here and there. Sherlock's Coffee and 2 looks like just the standard buildings. So I got some people coming in now. It's kind of cool to see. So let's do that on this side as well then. Just sort of fill this this avenue with all of its commercial. I think we'll go all the way down to here. Yeah, in fact, let's also bring this road in this direction since it's kind of like a main street. So that comes this way, and then I'm thinking we'll probably have this one curve off in this direction and then start some neighborhoods here. So let's bring it back. In fact, let's make this one a grass on the side of the road street, sort of signifying that we're making it a neighborhood. And then we'll bring it out maybe another half step this way. Let's go a full step. So full step this way, and then we'll go to a diagonal, and this will be the diagonal that we use for our neighborhood. And I'm also just going to go ahead and flatten this area out so we have, you know, better control over all our housing and everything. So we do this, everything's flat and oop, packaging. There we go. Alright, so far so good. And then let's bring this in this direction for the first neighborhood. Now I don't think we're gonna go any deeper than 1 layer of commercial around here. So in fact, I think we're probably gonna have like an end to it somewhere up here. So a very small amount of commercial up here, because we can always add more commercial to our downtown areas, which is kind of where I want to have most of the commercial anyway. But I want to limit it over here, make these mostly neighborhoods. So this will probably be like the most of the commercial for this area. So maybe we'll have a little bit coming in this direction too, just to shake it up a little bit. But how's our power? We can probably pull this back a bit. Let's go to like here for now. And then we can start on the neighborhood. So let's see, angle for this. I'm thinking we build a street back here based off this angle. So maybe like here would be good. Get some beachside residents over in this area. That'll be nice. Now I don't want to completely block off the location for our harbor. In fact, I think I'll use the harbor as an excuse to like break off this commercial. So we'll go maybe like, I don't know, this much further with commercial. And I'll probably even make some roads in between to kind of break it off. But then we'll have a road come out, we'll make the harbor over here, and then we'll have some buildings and things here that kind of break up the commercial and the housing over here. So, and then also, you know, housing over here on this side. So with this, now we can move into just the regular streets for the neighborhoods. So this will be like the end of the neighborhood back here. Now I do want to have some of this be planned out little streets and things, and then this will be a little more organic again. So once we get to here, I Could have it split once, and then I'm thinking we do a few of these little 5 wide 2x2 housing. So maybe do 2 of those like this, and then let's see. I feel like there's like 1 or 2 things that I wanted to put in here. Ooh, I have match day now. Actually, I just installed match day, by the way. I don't know. I just I didn't really care that much about getting this single stadium. So yeah, now I have match day, I guess. Only a few months late. But I feel like I want to have something interesting over here, like maybe a baseball diamond or something. We can't really fit it cleanly in this corner. Although it does seem like it would fit in this corner. I just don't know if I want to put it there. You know, I like that. I just feel like small towns have these... I mean, at least small, maybe American towns have these little baseball diamonds sitting in the center like this. It's kind of a cool spot for... It says college, but I think this is more of like a little league, you know, public park baseball diamond. So... we'll get that in there, and then I think maybe a building over here would be kind of cool too. I just don't know if we have anything that really fits with this. Not going to be doing a bunch of like nightlife stuff. It's definitely not that kind of town. Alright, so the last thing I want to do here, just to kind of wrap up this little section and at least have a, you know, fully functional portion over here. We're going to have people moving in and have actual residents over in this area and all that stuff, is we need to make sure we have all the services that we need to maintain this area. So I'm thinking, because we have this sort of little back section back here, we can kind of use that to our advantage and put some services that we wouldn't necessarily need to have, you know, right up and right in front where everybody can see them, and take advantage of this like weird kind of back section. So I'm kind of even thinking like a hospital might fit well over here, like a full-sized hospital. I know that seems kind of strange and all, but I actually think that's a good idea, because we don't have a full-size hospital. I think we have like maybe 1 or 2 over on this side. Well, we do. Looks like our capacity is actually pretty alright. We've got quite a few large hospitals. Well, actually we only have 3 large hospitals, but maybe actually that's not the best decision considering the price difference. Yeah, you know, why don't we just do a clinic, now that I think about it. So if we do a clinic back here, well, then we may as well just do something else first. Oh, this is I was like, what's in here? So for the fire, we'll definitely need a fire station. Now I think it would be cool to have a little back lot for this Saturn Electronics place, because I'd imagine they would have need like loading, unloading, and all that stuff. So I might make a little back lot here, fill this all with concrete, and then I'll go in next episode when we're detailing, and I'll make this all feel like an actual back lot behind the Hesburger and the Saturn. But for this area, no, I'm actually just gonna do that for now until we know what we're gonna do with this. But for over here, I think we'll have a fire station followed by, and we could actually fit it over here like this, which is kind of cool. So the fire station empties out in this back lot, and then they go out this way. And then we could have right next to the fire station have a police station. So throw that down over here, another like smaller police station. Probably the fire station is necessary to have a large one for this area, because the fire seems like we always need better coverage for fire. But for police, I think just having a small one here should be fine. We have a very low crime rate, so maybe even, yeah, we'll just do a small one like right next to the fire station. And then, well, we should probably have a clinic over here too. Now, I don't really want to lump the clinic in the back over here, so I think we could probably fit a clinic in the front here, actually. Maybe right up here, like that, kind of like that. So just a small little clinic. We'll put it on the corner, so we'll have a road going out in this direction as well. Maybe actually bring the clinic over a little bit more, so it's not like so close to being you know, adjacent to this road. So let's bring out some more commercial. We'll do like 6 more, and then we'll do the clinic over here. So clinic after 6, that's not 6, that's 5. So clinic after 6, like that. Make sure I didn't delete that. Put that back. And then we can go ahead and make an avenue that goes this way, and I think, or just a road actually, and I think that again we'll go with the bike lane road, since it is kind of a crossing street, a primary street. So we'll do that. We'll connect this here, and then now we got some more room for potentially some commercial or whatever else we need over here. Now I think garbage wise, I am curious to see how this holds up, because again, this is the only thing that's servicing everywhere, and I think we're probably gonna end up making a smaller one over here, but we have such a high capacity that I'm kind of just curious to see how well the garbage gets handled over here. For all I know, it might actually work out really well. So this is actually like a really cool looking little facility that is a garbage truck. So I might put this like somewhere off where it's a little less populated or something, but regardless, that'll come later on anyway. So now we have, I think, everything we need except for the schools, so that'll be the next step. I'm going to do it as last time, and I'm going to throw down like a high school, elementary school combination back here. I'm going to give it a bit of space between the clinics, so we'll have the high school there, the elementary school like right next to it, and then I'm going to do some detailing back here. I'm going to leave all of this stuff empty so we can have some little playgrounds and stuff for our schools. Now I'll probably also make some parking back here, because this is like no parking. So maybe we do a road that, or just maybe we just fill this area with parking or something. So have some concrete that comes out in this direction and fill this whole area with parking or something like that. Probably the same thing with this side over here for the high school, since right now it has 0 parking. So we'll get to this stuff later, but I'm just kind of marking it out so I know what places are covered. And then because this is all just like backlot stuff, I'll probably just cover it up with some foliage, so you know, all of our kids coming out and playing in the playground aren't just like subjected to this like the back of like a commercial zone. So we'll clean that up later on, but I think now we are just about at the point where we can start zoning. So actually before that, we need to make sure that we have some of these just blocking off our zoning in the middle here. So go to here, go ahead and connect this like so, and then bring it this way. Fill all of our little 5x5 areas. Same thing over here. I'm actually going to even bring this down over here like this and connect it. Oops, distance too short apparently. That's okay. We'll just go one before and do that. There we go. Ooh, lots of ambulances. Ooh, oh, right. I didn't connect the power again. Almost forgot about that. I'll just put this like here for now. We'll fix that later. So there's our power connection. We'll get a few more of these little dividers in here. And I only designed this part of the neighborhood, just like the compact portion first, because it's the part immediately next to this area, and I feel like it's important to make sure that we have everything planned out before we continue with this neighborhood-wise. But once I get this area filled out, then I'll start expanding out in this direction with the neighborhood and start thinning it out a bit and making it more organic. But for now, it's good how it is. So I'm going to bring this down from this side, leave this all zoned as is, and then we'll connect it here like that. One more on this side. This will all just be free zoned, and then that'll be good for this section. So that looks pretty solid. Let's go ahead and start zoning now. And I'm just gonna, I guess I'll just fill these like this. So I'll get that. We'll get this one over here. And then just gonna kind of mass zone some of this stuff a little bit here. I don't want to zone the outsides quite yet, since we don't really know what we're doing with this area. In fact, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna zone these as 2x2s on the outside too, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'll make like a fence. I'll fence off the area so that, and there's some like privacy. We'll have some, you know, bushes and stuff between the backs of these houses and the commercial zones over here. But I was taking a look at the sort of like the heart of the older part of the town that I used to live in when I grew up, and in that area they have basically just like one avenue, and then like the block of the avenue is like totally covered in commercial, almost exactly like this, and then like immediately one block over they just start with like rows of housing, and it's all still like in a grid for the most part, but I just thought it was kind of interesting, and I think this is about what it would look like. So I'm kind of envisioning this just being the smaller town that maybe formed a while ago, and still has the same old, you know, Main Street Avenue, and it just kind of grew out from the center over here. So that's the rationale behind all this stuff. Let me speed that up, and then oh right, I wanted to zone this area as well, and I'm just gonna straight up zone this whole thing like that, and hit these, and then we also have this in the back, obviously, all the way to the end, and then I think we're gonna have some commercial or something over here, so I'll leave this as is for now. But it looks like we'll start getting workers. Again, it might take a minute because I think they want some educated workers. Well, let's see. Probably want, yeah, mostly uneducated, so I would imagine it's just a matter of getting some residents in here. Then we should get some upgrading now. I don't think we have any. Oh, good. We do have some parks because of these buildings. So they do act as parks. So we got leisure. That's good. We've got crime covered. We've got the fire covered. We got the medical stuff covered. We have schools covered. It looks like obviously they're going to take a minute to actually get educated. I'm not going to put any sort of like college over here. So maybe like a community college in the future. But for now, I'm going to leave it as is. And then other than that, I think we're pretty much set on everything. So this is exactly what I wanted to do this episode. I just wanted to get something started, you know, have an easy way to get to and from. We've got these off and on ramps now. Depending on how this all performs, I would imagine it'll be okay for the size that this town's going to be. But on the off chance that we don't want to have lights here, or that this isn't going to work out very well, I may try some new things. Now I think, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that Westwood up here has the same sort of situation. Yeah, they still have lights. Oh, you know what? This is interesting. So it looks like there aren't any lights, and I can't really oh, I know why. Because this is a single road instead of an avenue. So I don't have any traffic mods, obviously, so I don't have the ability to remove lights like I sort of did over here. Well, I didn't remove them, but I never had them in the first place, so I can't necessarily recreate this, but I'm imagining the population of Westwood is probably like maybe half of what this little town's going to be over here, so we might need something better than a light system down here, and I guess we'll just see about that. But I mean, I know that typically, and that's not how this game works, but usually on intersections like this, there's going to be a dedicated right turn lane that merges into this little avenue over here. So we might need some sort of like creative way to fix this. So I'm going to leave all of this as is, and we'll just say this is like a temporary solution for this. And if for whatever reason this whole town gets too big and this can't handle the size of this town, it'll be a little project to try to enhance this little off-ramp and try and make it usable in a larger scale scenario. So anyway, I think that's it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know down below what you think about these new little areas over here and our idea to expand out in this direction, the harbor and all that stuff, and also name suggestions for this area. I know it's pretty new. It's not doesn't have a whole lot of character yet, but we're getting there. We'll put down some golf clubs. We'll have I keep saying golf clubs like I mean like a clubhouse or a club where you like a country club, but golf courses, I guess, over here. And we'll have some amenities and things, and we're gonna have a much nicer looking neighborhood over here, and all the neighborhoods will be kind of wealthy, and so keep that in mind, I guess, when you're thinking of names. But that's all for today, so hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.